Hey, great to have you with us. Today we're doing a 10-minute workout, focusing on hip and spine mobility. So let's get started. We've got all the resistance bands on, and we're starting lying on our backs. Place the middle of your foot on the foot bar, feet parallel and about hip width apart. We exhale and tilt our pelvis, pulling the pubic bone up toward the breastbone and start to roll down the spine until the hips are between the shoulders and knees, and then exhale. Roll down vertebra by vertebra. And again, pubic bone to breastbone. Roll the hips. Send the knees forward. Inhale here, and exhale, bit by bit. Roll back down from top to bottom. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, pelvis scoops. Up into the long diagonal and gently exhale. Slowly let it fully melt down. From here, we'll continue with the pelvic lift. We'll have a Pilates V with the feet, heels together in the center and knees hip width apart. Then we tilt our pelvis just like we did before, but really only lift the pelvis. The ribs are still lying down heavily. Then we push the carriage out halfway and try to stay even deeper in this pelvic tilt as we come back in. Halfway out, and then slowly sink even more into the tilt as you come back in. Do this 3 more times. Try to feel that you're really opening up your lower back. And keep drawing the pubic bone towards your ribs the whole time, as strongly as you can. Then we roll the pelvis back down and move on. We'll continue with short spine. We're going to switch the Reformer to 2 blue and 2 red springs for this. So basically just take out the yellow ones. Lie comfortably on your back in the long loop, then gently press one foot in, and after that, carefully add the second foot, and then slowly stretch your legs out long. Then we only bend until the knees are above the hips. Exhale, stretch your legs forward, then lift them up straight until they're above the pelvis. Tilt your pelvis again and slowly roll down until you're lying on your shoulders. Then do a little frog again. Bring your knees toward the shoulder pads and slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra. And exhale, stretch your legs out long, lift them up. Pelvis rolls, spine rounds, knees to the pads. Try to keep the distance between your feet and your glutes the same here. Let's do this one last time. Now bend your legs again. We carefully take one foot out, securely find the foot bar, then we are completely safe again and can get out. Come up through your side. We're now in a side position. And we'll set up with 1 blue and 1 red spring. The arm can be comfortably positioned between the shoulder pads and securely under the head. The lower leg is then carefully wrapped in. And then step back into the longer loop. Extend your leg fully. And then start to move your leg forward from the hip in isolation. And then pull it back using your hamstrings, feeling the stretch and contraction. Focus on isolating the movement at the hip joint and keep the spine stable and long. Let's do this 2 more times. Exhale as you pull. To come out, wrap it up again. Grab and release. Now let's switch to the other side. The resistance stays. Your lower leg is wrapped, your spine is long, and your upper body is in one straight line. And leg extended. Again, gently bend at the hip joint, smoothly move the leg forward and back. Pull firmly toward the foot bar until you completely form a straight line with your entire body from your shoulders to your foot. Three more times. Only move your leg as far as you can maintain your lower back in a long and extended position so that the movement is completely isolated and comes from the hip joint itself. Bend, use your hand to help, and then we're back in a comfortable seated position. Let's continue with the exercise called pulling straps. For that, we will need to carefully and slowly lower the foot bar. Keep the resistance as it is and come down into prone here. Slide yourself a little farther back on the carriage so your head lands right between the shoulder blocks and your neck can stay long. And then we grab the straps. Eyes to the floor, legs floating, already engaging through the hamstrings and glutes. On the next inhale, pull through the shoulders and upper back. Let your head rise, lift the breastbone forward and up, and then gently release back down. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades back and toward the pelvis. Send the sternum in the opposite direction, forward and down. Inhale gently, forward and up, and then exhale slowly and come back down. Let's do that one more time, very slowly. Inhale deeply, lengthening the entire thoracic spine, and then gently lower down. Okay, then let's continue and proceed to mobilize the hips, specifically focusing on the hip flexors, which are crucial muscles for movement and flexibility in the pelvic region. The bar comes back up again. Place one foot firmly on the floor, one knee, and one foot on the carriage. Then we push the carriage back, lower the hips down, and pull the pubic bone up a bit in the opposite direction to intensify the stretch. And then come halfway back up. Exhale, lower down. Try to stay down just a little bit longer if you can. And just 2 more times. Let's switch to the other side. Toes tucked, knees on the carriage, hands pressing away from the foot bar. And keep the upper body upright. Come halfway in. Exhale as you go down. That's where the stretch is more intense. One last time. And back in again. Then we have one last stretch for the inner thighs. The foot bar goes back down. We're in a quadruped position but turned to the side. We have one hand and one knee firmly placed on the platform, and similarly, one hand and one knee positioned on the carriage. Then we slowly and deliberately start to open the carriage outwards, simultaneously trying to lower our hips down in between the platform and carriage as far as comfortably possible. And back in again. Keep the upper body long. Reach through the top of the head, lift the chest a little, keep the neck long. Don't push the head forward. The weight moves with the carriage. It isn't fixed on the platform. It floats in between as you move. One last time. And then we'll switch sides. One hand and one knee on the carriage. All fours, then open. Never let your head hang down. Sometimes you don't even notice it, but the head is heavy and pulls us down. Last time. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining in, and I hope you feel good and mobilized.